Good afternoon. My name is Janet Justice, and I work in the Education and Events Department at FTD. I want to welcome you to our webinar titled Wow Customers with Amazing Customer Service. Today, you will learn 12 amazing customer service techniques to help your shop rise above the masses to offer exceptional customer service. Nancy Friedman, President of Telephone Doctor Customer Service Training, will be leading this informative webinar. As one of America's most sought-after speakers on sales, customer service, and communication skills, Nancy's been a featured guest on Oprah, The Today Show, Fox News, CNN, CBS This Morning, and hundreds of other radio and TV programs across the country. She's appeared on programs with Colin Powell, Lou Holtz, Pete Rose, Bobby Knight, Tom Peters, and Ken Blanchard, just to name a few. Nancy is also the author of 7 best-selling books on customer service, and she's presented programs at various state florist conventions over the years. Once Nancy is finished with her presentation, we will open the webinar up for questions. If you have a question, simply type it in the question box on the upper right side of your screen, and we will take the questions in the order they are received. Please feel free to submit your questions during the presentation, and we will hold the questions until the Q&A portion of the webinar. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the call over to Nancy to begin the webinar. Nancy?
Further ado, I am here. I love that word, without further ado. Thank you, Janet, and to all my floral friends. I'm delighted to be here, obviously, and hoping that you will, whoops, we're having a little, do you want to do with the mouse? We're trying to get the screen to change in a moment, but delighted that you're all here. I do see, and this is fun for me, I have a list of some of you, actually all of you, I guess, my Hy-Vee people. I spoke at the national conference for Hy-Vee for their floral department, so I'm very glad you're here. I see one Missouri person, only one Missouri person from the whole 130 or 40 people, so I'd like to hear where you're from, Missouri. Most people one of the first questions I get asked when we do something like this is, Nancy, before you get going, what the heck is a telephone doctor and how did you start? So let me take 3 minutes and explain how the heck the telephone doctor came to be. It's an interesting story. It is the American dream, and I want to share it here with you today. About 20 some odd years ago, I picked up my telephone and I called my insurance agent, and I told him to cancel all my policies. No small job. We were his largest account. I don't need to tell anybody who's listening right now what happens when you lose your largest account. So I called him and I told him, cancel all my policies. And he says, my gosh, Nancy, what happened? And I told him, your people stink. They're so rude, they're so abrupt, they're so unfriendly, they're so unhelpful, and I don't need to be treated like that, thank you very much. He said, you know, Nancy, you're right. When I call your office, I'm treated like a king, and I'm not even a customer. I said, Michael, we treat our wrong numbers better than you treat your customers. That's a laugh line when you're in a big group with me. Okay. He said, would you do me a favor? I said, what's that? He said, would you come to my office and would you show my guys what you guys do? Well, I don't know about anybody who's listening to this right now. If somebody reaches out to touch me, I do want to touch them back. So I said, yeah, I'll go to your office. So I went to his office out of love. It was the last time I did it out of love. But anyway, I went to his office. They had maybe 15, 16 people, 2 round tables, 5, 6 people at each table, and coffee and donuts. And 9 o'clock, Michael said, Nancy's going to speak with us on customer service. So I stood up in front of those 16, 17 people looking at me, much like you're sitting there right now probably. Oh, what's she going to say? And I said, well, at our office we say please. And one woman hit the other woman and said, Hilda, write that down. That's a good one. I said, we say thank you. We say you're welcome. We say have a nice day. We say how'd you have a nice weekend? How's your husband? How's your wife? How are your kids? That's what we do at our office. I don't think I spoke 15 minutes. Another cup of coffee, started to walk out the door. The president of the insurance agency said, wait a minute, Nancy. I said, what's wrong? He said, well, nothing's wrong. I just wanted to thank you. I said, you're welcome. He says, no, you don't understand. We really learned some new things. Well, I happen to mention this very same story that I care to share here with you today to the then general manager of a newspaper in Davenport, Iowa. We have anybody from Davenport, Iowa here today? I'm not sure. We guess no, I was, but I didn't see any Davenports. Anyway, he happened to be our big Weatherline client, and we took him out to dinner. And what do you think you talk about when you take one of your big clients out to dinner? Right, you talk about what you did today. That's what you're going to do at dinner. You're going to say, well, I listened to this lady, Nancy Friedman, telephone doctor, on a webinar, and you're going to talk about this program tonight at dinner. Mark my words. So the guy said to me at dinner, what'd you do today? So I told him about calling Michael, canceling the policies, cookies, donuts, round table, Hilda, please and thank you, and didn't think much about it. Came to my office the next morning. My phone was ringing. It was the general manager from the newspaper in Davenport, Iowa, and he said, Nance, I've been thinking about what we talked about last night, and you're right. From president to maintenance, if you have a telephone on your desk, you should be trained. Would you come to my newspaper? And would you train my people, Nancy? I said, sure, Bob, no problem. How many people do you have, dear? He said, 300. I turned to my husband. I said, now look what you got me into. Well, I happened to have married the can-do man, and the can-do man said, you can do it, Nancy. So I sat down and I wrote a half-day program, delivered it to all the managers of the Quad City Times in Davenport, Iowa. And when I was done, the editor of the Quad City Times walked up to me, stuck his finger in my face, and said, you know, you're very good. You sure got all the cures. And he thought a moment, and I saw his head spinning. He said, I'm going to call you the doctor. I'm going to call you the telephone doctor. And I went home and told my husband, I said, Dick, somebody called me the telephone doctor. What do we do? He said, let's go get it registered. We're going to have some fun. And fun we've been having, ladies and gentlemen, running around the country, the world, if you will. The program that you're listening here today has been presented in Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Jamaica, Turkey, Germany. The United States does not have a monopoly on poor customer service. And so I wanted to bring you, we have about 30 minutes left, I want to bring you what we call the 12 golden nuggets of customer service. And before I do, if you're looking at the picture of me there, Nancy Friedman, in the blue dress and the blue sweater there, one thing that's very important for you to understand is that I am younger and thinner in person. So when you do see me, you can go, oh, look at her, she's younger and thinner. I am on Facebook at Telephone Doctor, Twitter. If you tweet, love to have you.